Now, I can't speak for all manufacturers, but a lot of manufacturers have these lower engine cover shields. They go all the way up underneath the transmission pass through, tonneau, whatever you want to call it, and that cover is really close to the bottom of the vehicle. So if some of you are experiencing water in the floor, chances are it's either a sunroof drain backed up and it needs to be cleared out, which typically that's over by your wheel well areas. There's like a little outlet. It's weird. It'll be orange colored or green colored or something like that. It's in the wheel well area. Basically, how you fix that is you'll go get a bunch like string trimmer, like for your weed eater, and a lot of people get the thicker stuff and they'll try to run that from their in all four corners of your sunroof. There's drains in the four corners that run down to the wheel area, and if you get access to that outlet where that water pulls up in that tray around the sunroof and drains out by the wheels, you can take that string trimmer and fish it down those paths, and you'll actually push debris and stuff out at the bottom, or you can go from the bottom up if you know where they're at. But that's one way. Second way is if you're getting water in the floor in your vehicle and it doesn't look like there's anything wrong, the windshield sealed fine, the outside A-pillar trim around uh, the windshield area and stuff is all good. It seems like everything's intact. The drains on the bottom of all four of your doors, if you open your door up and you actually get down, physically get down, don't just bend over, get down and look at the bottom of your door, you'll see little pockets where water drains out down there. A lot of times those drains get plugged and they have like little rubber inserts in there. Typically people just reach down there, guys that know about, the little life hack, they'll just pull those inserts out and they don't need to be in there. They'll pop them out, make sure everything's clean right there, blow some air up in those channels if they can in the bottom of the door, and then they go ahead and close their door back. Sometimes that fixes the water in the floor problem. Another thing is the rubber seal that goes around your doors. Some have, like on the Panther platform cars, you have your door seals, but then there's another seal at the top of the car that runs from the front to back, and that in the rear of it has a channel that relieves itself. You can't see it. If you peel your little molding back and you look down in there, you can see a little pocket, and it's got a channel for water to run off at the top where it comes off the roof. Keep that clean. Keep your weather strip, the rubber liner and stuff around your roof and everything clean, and wipe down with some silicone every once in a while. Get that trash and stuff out of there. It's another area. Here is a video on AC. This is from a 2018 Ford Fusion where somebody had tapped something on the road or smacked something on the road, and it pushed the metal liner up all the way to the bottom of the vehicle, and it blocked off the drain, the drip drain for the AC, and plugged it up with debris and helped keep pressure up against it so it wouldn't drip anymore. And guess what ended up happening? That lower box in your HVAC unit filled up, filled up, filled up, filled up, and then it slowly starts seeping over into the carpet. You can't see where it's coming from. You think something's wrong. You got a leak around one of the windows or a windshield. No, your HVAC box backed up. So in this video, I show you how I cleared out that HVAC box. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, well, younger, not a kid, in my mid-20s, I went out and bought a 93 notchback Mustang. And I smell mildew every once in a while. It would be real faint. And I didn't want it to get worse. And I knew, you know, some about water problems back then, but not as much as I do now. I smell sniffing. I can't figure out where it's at. I can't find anything wet in the car at the time. I'm going on a long trip down to Louisiana to see my family. 17-hour drive. I jump in the car. I'm taking it down to Louisiana. Trip's going great. AC's blasting. And all of a sudden, I start smelling that mildew and stuff again. So where the hell is this coming from? I ain't got nothing on me right now. It's really hard for me to check this car. So I pull over at a local garage in Arkansas. And they had a bunch of hot rods and stuff out front. I pull up in there and the technician comes out and I said, man, I'm smelling mildew, and now all of a sudden I'm starting to see my carpet wet over in the passenger side just out of nowhere. Again, back then I wasn't as concerned or knowledgeable about water leaks and what goes on as I am today. Hell, this was 10 years ago. So um, it's just something I never really got into. Now I'm heavily involved in electronics and module programming and interior work, and that's my bread and butter now. Now a lot of guys at the shops I work at are just like, hey Rich, how do you do this inside the car? How do you do this? How do you look for this? How do you check for this? Because now I enjoy it. I like it. Back then I didn't know and I was scared of it, so I just didn't do it. Pull over at a local garage. Mechanic came out. He's looking at the car and he says, I got you. Let's pull the car in real quick. He lets me pull it in the stall. They rack it. Go ahead and get out of the car. I'll show you what's going on. Lifts it up in the air, and he takes a air gun, puts it up in the nipple of the drain at the firewall, hits it just a little spurt, pushes the water back. It came back down and took a big chunk of like leaves and debris and stuff with it and pushed it out onto the floor, and it drained right there. He said your drain was plugged. That's all. Have a nice day. No charge. Man, if I'd have known then what I know now, I'd have made a lot of money, right? So here's the video. Keep your AC drains clear. If you don't see them dripping, especially on a real humid hot day, check your AC drain. Make sure that it is clean and clear. Y'all be blessed. I bet you it's plugged up. Fish a zip tie up in there and see. Try a little air, but try to go real slow with it. There it is. Bingo. And that would be why the customer is having issues. There it is. Back up, bolts and everything back in, but what I did right here where the scrap number is, I pulled it back a little bit, and then you can see how I like gave it a pocket to where it doesn't even sit close to that anymore. And it looks like at one time they hit something right here, and that's what jammed all that up in there and stopped it from draining properly. So now I've got everything pulled away, and there's plenty of room in there. This is what was in there. So, yeah, we'll put it down and let it run, let it drain.